This podcast is sponsored by Darling Eyewear. Activate your alter ego with Darling Eyewear and start seeing life through a different set of lenses. Shop darlingeyewear.com. Tell them Demetrius Lee and Angela Lee in the Lee Life Experience Podcast sent you. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to a new episode of the Lee Life Experience Podcast. You have Angie and Demetrius here, and we are your hosts for this evening. We want to thank you so much for rocking with us. Those of you who have been, thank you. Those of you who knew, welcome. And we hope you enjoy this segment. And if you would like to get your topics heard, or if you would like to be a guest on the Lee Life Experience Podcast, we even take you anonymously, even if you don't want anybody to know who you are. You want to text this number 833-370-1608. Put relationship without an S in the comment. So Demetrius, how you doing today?
Doing a little honey bunch. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. Listen, we're gonna go kind of a little off the rocker today because it was a conversation that I went to several business meetings. A lot of people know I love a meetup. I love a meeting. I love going, surrounding myself with other like-minded people. And my husband, he don't, not, I'm not gonna say he don't like going. He just not, he don't attend as many as I do. I'm just gonna say that. So he will go.
That right.
Yeah,
Right.
he will go to something that he interested in.
I know it'll benefit me from the jump. I need it got to be right. Go ahead.
So anyway, I had a question. I came home and I told Demetrius that as we was laying in the bed, but I wanted to I wrote it down in a way so to probe a thought to you because even when I told Demetrius and I said, Demetrius, that don't really have anything to do with relationships. He was like, Angie, yes it does. It's the Lee Life Experience Podcast, so it's our experience. And so I want to challenge you all to think deep and think, are you happy at your current situation? I know the economy is bad. I know that jobs are not.
Election coming up.
Election is coming up. Your current situation, you may like your job. Some may love their job. Some may say, hey, they just see it as a mean getting by. But what in a perfect world, I know again with so much going on, it's so many people that's losing, a loved one, and I know how that feels. I mean, I can relate to that part. But I know that things call on this life journey, the things that you have to go through, but do sometimes we make our burdens a little bit harder? Do sometimes some of the decisions that we make, are we really putting that pressure and burden on ourselves? And so when I'm asking this question, and again, I had to, Demetrius and I kind of talked about it for a little bit, but we want to ask you, when you see people struggling to not finish what they started, I would love to know why. What is it have you been, if you took a self-evaluation over your life, what is something that you started that you didn't finish? And if I had asked myself that, I have a lot of eyes on the stove. Pot's just boiling. Boiling over, Demetrius. That, like Angie, one thing, Demetrius always, and when I'm saying fussing you all, not fussing at me like I'm a toddler because he know I'm grown. But when I'm saying fussing at me like, Angie, I done told you cooking the food too high. But he had to constantly tell me, or he'll just get up. He'll just get up off the sofa and come over there and just turn the stove down because he can see how red it is. His instinct just tell him, Angie got this food up. I'm not gonna leave her alone in the kitchen. So how many of you all are trying to cook something, but it's not enough eyes on the stove, or you have the eyes already occupied with the idea, with something that you have left and haven't even finished? So Demetrius, I'm gonna ask you, because you was, trying to talk to me more about it. So what is something that if you had to look back over your life that you can put in the situation or the scenario and give us, what it was or when it was over your life and what it's something and how you kind of like tackled it, something that you had on your radar to do and then you never did do it. How long did it take for you to recognize it? And then how did you proceed with going ahead and achieving it if you was able to complete the task?
First thing I got to tell the story, not a story, what I didn't complete. Because the topic is you saying people always started something, but they don't finish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm one of the people too. I played football. In my mind, I could have went to college and been a good college football player because I went to pro. I don't know. But I could have went to college and did it. I didn't take my work. I wanted to play football, but I didn't take my work serious. So I didn't finish. It put me behind for the mindset behind. Now, because I got a job when I got out of school, I got a job. But that's something that really bothered me in the past. All right, now, here we go now. We in 2024 now. I'm going to have jobs, and I kept my job. But now I got these businesses I'm running. I got the sunglass business. We're doing the podcast, but I'm going to finish. That's what I'm doing now. I'm finishing. So that's what the topic you're talking about. You got to finish. I ain't been to quit, give up, because I know sunglasses, I love sunglasses. You see, I wear them all the time. DollarNotwear.com. Now it's DollarNotwear.co. Get you a pair of dollars. See life to a different sort of vision. Mm-hmm. But I love my glasses. So, but I ain't gonna give them on them because I'm not trying to sell glasses to sell you something. This is something I believe in. I know how I look at life. I know how I see people. I know how I want to be seen. Uh-huh. Okay, now this podcast, I know I want to help people with this podcast. I'm not doing a podcast for money. It's for helping people. Because I've been through stuff I'm talking about and some stuff I haven't been through. These people send some good topics in. These people sending some good topics in talk about in this podcast. Not this podcast. This podcast here is like more like me and you talking about life. So, yeah. I just want to say I love what I'm doing right now. I'm going to finish what I'm doing. And I advise everybody who listens to this podcast, who got a project on the table, who's looking at it, finish it. Don't give up and quit. It's easy to quit. That's the easiest thing to do is quit. A harder thing to finish. And a lot of people go to college. They've been trained to finish. Because college, it kind of motivates you more. But we can finish without going to college. Just believe in yourself, believe in who you're dealing with, and finish the job. Don't get frustrated. You're going to get frustrated. But finish. Just finish. But I got more to add to it. I don't want to take the whole conversation up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, when I asked the question, and again, when I researched it, as you was talking, I wrote down what you said. You didn't have the mindset to take it serious. And I think that's really a lot of people that those of you, if you listening on the sound of my voice, and if you're not driving, because I know some of us, some people listen to us as they commute into work. So, and I want to thank you, those of you, especially my coworkers that, know me personally. Thank you for those you for your support and listening. But I want you, if you're in a safe place, I want you to take a piece of paper and write it down, or either use the notes in your phone to be able to write it down and ask yourself, where do you see yourself? What is it that you would like to look over your life, and what are you unhappy with? You're not happy with it. You're not happy with your relationship. You're not happy at your job. You're not happy with your weight.
Yeah.
You're not happy when you look in your bank account.
Your marriage, your kids. You got all kinds of stuff you can look at that you ain't happy with.
And when I'm saying that, you just looking at over your life, and I'm gonna try not to get teary eyed because many of you know that I lost my father, back 4 years ago now, and it's things that I wish that he, I kept thinking that, he was going to get out because, he was incarcerated. And I kept thinking that, that he was going to get out. He'll get out early, and that we could kind of mend, the relationships and pick back up when he left off. But he ended up dying before he was able to transition out. back. And a lot of things got stuck. And sometimes I feel life will make you still have a prison cell even though you're not being in prison. Your mindset is stuck. It's in a prison. And I want you to think about that because, my dad, when I used to go visit him, he used to say, Angie, some of your smartest doctors and lawyers are locked up. He said, Angie, one decision can get you locked up. And when he used to tell me that, I kind of laugh, and then he would give me examples. He would say, do you write checks? back when checks was a thing. And I was like, yeah. He said, well, write too many of them and no money in the bank. Demetri, you'll get locked up.
Yeah.
And he, and I mean, it sounds cliche, but he was just trying to tell me that how life can be taken away so soon by something that that you kind of like not even really think about. You just kind of like moving in motion and you just doing. And I brought that up, or that I'm sharing that with those of you, because a lot of times, I ride with my picture with my dad over my glove, over my conceal, and on my dashboard. And every time I get in my car, I would speak, hey, Daddy, we're going to go on this ride today. That's what helps me. I don't really talk about him much. Couldn't even grieve about him out loud. But this subject that Demetrius want to talk about being stuck or not finishing things that you get done. And I want those of you who have lost a loved one, put that person, if you really love them or cherish them, as your reason and your why. Because that's what I put as my reason why. I told myself that I don't want to live struggling anymore. I told Demetrius, and I just repeated it on a previous episode, that Demetrius, when we go on a trip, we either gonna go a day earlier or we gonna stay a day later. Because I don't want us to miss opportunities because we was rushing off other people's demands. I don't want to live like that anymore. When Demetrius had rented us a yacht, what year that was, Demetrius, when we went to Miami?
2000 and 2022.
22. So 2022, we rented this yacht down in Miami, Florida. And who that was down there? Was it one of the Migos? One of the Migos.
It was not Offset. The other boy, Quavo.
Quavo.
It was Quavo. It was Quavo. Yeah.
He was down there at the same pier, that we were, in Miami. As we got out on the water and got started, and we was not on the same yacht, but we was at the same pier. And this is what this guy do all the time. And I'm looking at us. We were paying money to rent something that is somebody's lifestyle. That's that man. That was that man lifestyle. Didn't he say, Demetrius, that other man, the guy working it? He was saying,
Yeah, he if somebody boat, but he ride for the bank. Operate the boat, but he rent it out when he ain't using it.
Yeah. So again, we were paying for what somebody live a life every day. When you go on vacation in those rental houses or Airbnb, think about it. That's somebody's house that they live in. They get to enjoy it every day. And I'm saying that, and I'm painting this picture, for you all, so you all will be able to look at your life and see what part of the equation do your hopes and dreams and goals go in. Because when I laid in the bed and I knew that, once I was writing down, and as Demetrius was calling us out, he was like, Angie, I got the sunglasses. Angie, I got the podcast. When I went to narrow down the things that I had accomplished. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that I had successfully accomplished. I started an adult line called Novelty Consultants, and I did it effortlessly. A lady was coming to my home. My friend told me about it. She said, Angie, I think you can do this. Told me about it. I researched it. I started. I used the Competitors magazine to get my sales. I knew nothing about business. Demetrius knows that's what I did. I started hosting parties myself. Never went to business school. I just went ahead and I asked him because me and him was still married at the time. And I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do. And he was like, and you sure about it? That's what you want to do? I'm back you, you know. And he did. And when we went ahead and I did that, I started hosting parties. I knew nothing about business, didn't have a business plan. I just went ahead and I started. Like they say, if you write it down, start it ugly, start it ugly. You can figure out other stuff as you go. And I ever look back on it that if I had to stay focused, I think the most that I made with that business is like a $7,000. And I did parties on the weekends. I started off on Thursdays and I would finish up on a Sunday. That my weekends was booked. Or people would meet me in the parking lot, in order to buy these novelties from me. And if I had had a mindset like Candy, and Demetri, me and you probably be living good right about now. We probably wouldn't even got a divorce because because we didn't know. And Demetrius didn't know either. We didn't know nothing about business. I didn't know about having a product over something that people wanted. And that was my first business, and I did it to nursing school. So then I started a group. I started when I say a nonprofit, but I started a youth group in my hometown community in South Carolina called Living the Skin I'm In, regardless. I didn't know all the words. I had to learn as I go. And I went and I started at church. Started as a sleepover at church, and I got up to speak. And when I got up to speak, because I didn't have a goal, I just knew I wanted people to be different than me. And I didn't want them to have a hard life like me. And right when I got finished talking, these young girls was coming up to me, and then people would, the next day after that thing, parents was contacting me like, "Hey, my daughter talking about she want to be in your group." And before you know it, I had 36 young girls came through my program. I just started. I didn't know anything about it. My group never did get 501(c) certified because I didn't know anything about it. I just knew I had some hungry young girls. I watched them girls and I had them from middle school to their first year of college. They just let you know how long and of a program that was. And then I went to California and I decided to become the metamorphosis coach. And I went to California, moved out there. When I got out there, Lisa Nichols was hosting her event in Atlanta, Georgia. So I turned around and got on the flight, flew back to the East Coast to attend this conference. Never paid that kind of money for a conference before. Went VIP, and I was like, oh my gosh, you mean to tell me some people who just like me, who have big ideas just like me? I never knew anything about, like investing in yourself and attending or spending that kind of money. I had coaches before, but nothing to that degree. So when I did that and I invested and I felt so good, that was what opened up the doors to me becoming the metamorphosis coach and being able to help transform your dreams into reality. I went with that. And that's really was my signature. And I was in California, and that's how I was able to go. Started blogging. Didn't know nothing about blogging. Celebrities, once I started, and one of my former coaches told me about it. She said, Angie, this is called blogging, what you doing? I went to Office Max, made me a name tag. I wish I had it close by. I would pull it out. Made me a name tag and a chain and put on there, Angela, the celebrity blogger. Knew nothing. Just started showing up. And I just started going to events. And once I paid to go to BET and people saw me there, they was like, hey, you need to be at this event. And that's what opened me the door to start getting celebrities and taking pictures with like Megan Good, her husband, Miss Robbie off BET. And that's how I was able to get there. So I want to say all this with being able, and I'm sharing this with you because I'm just saying it starts with a dream. And once you start your dream or your focus and you write it down, you don't have to have all the steps to get started. Some of the time we are hesitant when we don't have all the steps to get started. You can get started, and then sometimes, Demetrius, some people get stuck. They have the idea, they have the name, they have the concept, but Demetrius, they are stuck. They don't know what to do after then? What is your advice?
You got to finish. I've been stuck. I've been in a situation, but you got to come out of it. You got to believe in yourself and know you can do it. People did it before you. People gonna do it behind you. You just got to believe in yourself. And you saying about your, Ben, you got the young girl. You did a good job, the girl.
Thank you.
And you fin. Yeah, I'm proud of you. But now, me, you on something else now. We trying to finish. And I got friends. I got cousins. They handle their business and they finishing. We got to finish. And people in this world, this in this park, I got to finish. I mean, you got some y'all got going through. I don't know what y'all got going on in your life. Wow, this podcast is about don't give up, don't quit, have faith. Faith is something that you can't see. You believe in it, but you can't see it. But you got to keep fighting. Don't give up. And you know this world changing. Like we got a new president coming up November. I think the 4th or 5th election. I think it's the 5th. I might be wrong. We got to vote. Go vote.
Mm-hmm.
And believe. I want you to vote. I mean, I don't think you vote who you want to vote. But believe who you voting in and believe in yourself and finish. I know you got dreams. Everybody got dreams. I know you got dreams with your kids. You see a future in them. Just finish. That's this whole conversation, this podcast. We got to finish. Believe in yourself. Think yourself as a positive person. Think yourself as somebody that deserves this. Because you've been through life. I know you're going to struggle. Some people in this podcast, you're going to struggle. I struggle. I'm telling you, I'm going to talk about myself. I've been struggling. But I know what I want to be in life. And I got to finish it. I got a good job. I make good money. But don't get me wrong now. I appreciate it. I gratitude what I got. But I need to do better. And I got to finish. Me and my wife got plans. We got dreams. We got to finish. I got 2 granddaughters. My son will probably have a kid. I got to leave some behind. I got to finish. So I just say, I'm going to say this more, give it to my wife. I want y'all in this podcast. You sitting there listening to me saying, what are he talking about? You right now, you thinking you can't finish. You think your life is gone. You think you want to give up. Don't give up. If you give up, it's over. But you keep fighting. One day you're going to win. You got to keep going. So please don't give up. Don't give up on us on this podcast. Don't give up on your kid or your son, your daughter, your mama and daddy, your friend. Don't give up. Believe and keep fighting. I'll go 100 bucks. I add some more to it later on.
No,
it's a passion conversation, you know.
Yeah, well, I think, and I'm saying it even coming from a coach that, have taught the people that it's easy when you have all the blueprint, when you can go and copy somebody else's, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's harder when it's time for you to make some of those footprints for yourself. And I'm saying it because I have several businesses that, I have started. Some of them that I left idle because it was like still some missing parts in it. Or I stopped because it was like I had went as far as I could go. And it seemed like all the walls were just shut. Everything was shut. And you want to be able to look at that. So, number one, I want you that when you write down what it is that you want to do, and I'm just going to use something simple as dirt. Do you know that you can go outside if you staying somewhere and you do not like the dirt? Do you know they created a store like Lowe's, Home Depot, that somebody has been a distributor and had access to some dirt, and Demetrius, they put the dirt in the bag.
That's right.
And they sold it. So when you thinking, who in the world would want to buy dirt? Nobody want dirt. We walk on dirt. We spit on dirt. Go and tell that new homeowner that Demetrius that ground is just bare.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that because you have to find the need of the people who have it. You can't say, "Oh well, I got dirt. I'm dirt for everybody." Dirt is not for somebody who everything in their yard is cement. This dirt's not for them unless they already got the foundation down. When the foundation already down. So when you are having these big ideas of what it is that you want, and then you saying that, hey, I have dirt. I got dirt for sale. When you decide that you want dirt and you know you real good on dirt and you have become an expert at dirt. Because I know a lot of times we want to start these businesses and we don't know a whole lot about the whole business. We just know a little bit, and we want to be out here. We want to teach other people, and I'm saying I'm guilty. We want to teach other people, and I have spent money, and guess what? They didn't know as much as I knew. So first, you're going to start with your idea, and then when you do have an idea, we're going to do like what Demetri said. You're going to go out there and you're going to research who already is living that dream that you're living. So what I would do, I would go straight to Google, and I'm going to ask them, list me dirt companies in the area. I want to know what dirt companies are in the area, because I'm not the first one thinking of dirt. It has to be somebody. They might not be in South Carolina, but somebody has already came up with the idea of selling dirt.
That's right.
They may be in, they might
California,
be in California,
North Carolina,
wherever they are. And if they are, guess what I'm gonna do? If they have an emailing list, I'm getting on the emailing list, because I want to see the exact flow from the time I put my email in. I need to know, how are they reaching me? How are they going to contact me? How are they going to stay in contact with me? What reason, or what's their marketing material? Because out of everything, like I told Demetrius, what our biggest goal should have been, that we didn't know, we didn't know, like, till after we done spent a lot of money. A lot of money. Our money should have went in marketing. You can have all that stuff, but your money, my coach Candace Holyfield, and I love that lady to life, she said, Angie, how much money do you want to make? And I said some, big number. She said, oh, well, you need 10% of that. That's what you're going to be. That's the minimum you need for marketing. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that's when I had the spa, the suite. I had a med spa, and I was doing detoxification, and I had rented the suite out. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm already kind of like down to the barrel, because I done bought all this equipment, the room decor, the massage tables and the beds and all this stuff. That's what they don't tell you. And then when she began telling me about marketing, she said, well, what you using to talk to the customers? And I'm like, what you mean? She said, well, Angie, you have to get a way to capture a way to talk to them. Whether that's a flyer, whether it's an email, whether it's a phone number, you need to know marketing. You need to have a way that if you selling dirt, and then you want to know who the people is that gonna need my dirt. So if I'm gonna do dirt, guess who I'm going to? I'm going to first time home buyer who's building a home. I'm going straight to people who's a builder. What kind of architects in the area? Because I know I can partner with them. A lot of you all don't want to partner. Y'all want to do it all by yourself. I need to go to people, because of the architect, he already business already up and booming. I'm new. I need to get with somebody so I can get off their audience. That's what my coach Candace told me. Angie, other people audience. They already have an audience. You need to partner with them. So if I got dirt, if I know an architect, how many homes is he building? Who are the homes is he doing $1 million homes? Is he doing, what kind of homes are they building? So I need to know what kind of dirt. I can't just give them red dirt. Now I need to be studying the different type of dirt. So I know if it's going to be just regular sand, like beach sand, or do it need to be hard dirt? Now I need to know who is going to be my target audience of these people. And now that I know, I'm going to go with first-time home buyers who's building a home. Those are my audience. Guess what? I'm going to be at every meeting that has a real estate. And Demetrius, I'm going straight to the ads in the paper who having meetups, having open houses. I'm going straight to look online to see who having open house meetings. And I'm going to pull up there. And I'm going to have my card ready. And then I might even have some little samples in Ziploc bags, Demetrius, of my dirt. So they can feel, they need to see it and they need to feel it, Demetrius. I'm going to have a little Ziploc bags. And I know people, this is going to sound ironic for it to come out my mouth, but I know little bags like what they do for little weed. I don't know. I ain't never sold weed.
Yeah, the weed
little weed bags. But I'm just giving people getting you a mental vision Because if you don't know dirt, but you might know that weed bag, you done seen it, you might not never purchase none, but you know what it look like. Guess what? And I know I'm saved, you all. I'm just only saying what I know from the streets, but you can relate. I'm gonna put me a little bit of my dirt into that bag, and so these home buyers can feel what kind of sand that when they coming out and they near wherever, they need to know, hey, what kind of sand do I want? And you need to have it. You need to have samples. A lot of you all don't want to give samples away. I don't understand why not. The more people that has a sample, and then you know what's marketing. Your marketing is, hey, if you get the sand and if you like the sand, can you tag me in it? You let them tag you in it. You just did an exchange. Many of you all don't know how to do that, or you're not willing to do it because you work so
Tell them on the
hard.
bunch. Tell
You
them on the
know,
bunch.
no, you work so hard for your product, and you just looking at, hey, well, I done worked so hard and I done got this product. But your goal is to don't just randomly give. But think about it. If I'm going to first time home builders and they building $1 million home, how much sand do you think they're gonna need? Why am I gonna be over here in the trailer park? What they saying I might have a whole lot of trailer lots over here, but it gonna take me too long if I'm only giving. They only spend $30 a bag, where I can go over here to this first time home buyer, and they building $1 million home, Demetrius. Now I can take my $30 bag. Now I can boost it up to $300 a bag.
That's right.
You got to think smart. So when people don't say I'm a badass coach, I know I'm a badass coach because I've been taught by some of the best. Some of the best.
I
So
want you to tell these ladies something, Coach Angie.
yes,
You know, we got another project coming up.
yeah.
We looking for nurses.
Oh yeah.
We tell them, hey, you know, right now we ain't got the the thing to tell them, but let them know keep up with this podcast because we're coming for them. We need y'all.
Oh
Tell them
yeah.
these ladies, hey, we're gonna put in position to see.
Oh yeah. We're gonna be hosting a open house for nurses and those of you who desire a change. Some of you nurses are tired and burnt out, and you looking for something else. And I know a lot of us are looking for on demand. We don't want to be committed. I know I got commitment issues. My husband asks me all the time, "Why don't you just get a job?" I don't want to get me a job. I'm already working a job. I don't want a job. I know what I bring to the
Tell them what a
workforce.
job to me is and what a job you is. Explain to them just for they know you're talking about.
No, you tell the difference, and then I tell them the
Oh,
difference from
I
nursing.
got a job. I got a job that I work 5 days a week.
Mhm.
My son worked 5 days a week. His girlfriend worked 5 days a week. My wife is a nurse. She's a traveling nurse, but she don't really have a job, like a job that she got obligated to go to work every day like I do. So I told her to get her a job, kind of like balance out. But she like what she doing. So she want to help other nurses like her to keep doing what they're doing, make it more easy for them. So I'm gonna let her explain to you what I'm saying. I know we've been to close this podcast. It's a short podcast, y'all, but I had to put this in here because it's a short day today. We're trying to get the word across to women and y'all who listen to this podcast who got friend and cousin in the medical field. It ain't just nurses. It's CNA. It's and I can explain to you the rest of the people's name, their titles. That I don't want to say the wrong name titles, but Hunter, take it over and close it out, and then we'll call it a day.
Are we done?
Yep, we done today. Hey, it's the time. I want you to explain to them what you're doing for you working, and tell these people that got cousins and friends or listen to the podcast that we'll be bringing people in. Nurses, CNA, what's got nurse practitioner. You say none of you talking about IT, or some of you saying one time to me about it.
Yeah,
To
once
them
we get more information about that and being able to have somewhere to send them, because that's another thing that when as you're doing your business, you don't want to just put things out there and you don't have a way to be
Yeah.
able to take action. Those are one of the things that I learned, from my coach as well, is that a lot of things I was starting, I didn't have all the things out there. And guess what they did? When you are hungry, you're looking for something to eat instantly. So you don't have time to be hungry and I'm over here playing with you. So I'm not gonna, tell you everything. I'm just gonna say stay connected with us and you'll be able to get more information on as it comes abreast to you, because I don't want to give you something and don't have anything tangible, because
That's
I'm gonna
right.
tell you what happened. What'll happen is that you'll be hungry and you will go and eat somewhere else, or you will be able to be hungry and
Talk to Mother
excited.
Bunch.
You'll be hungry and excited, and you will forget about it because I'm not ready. And then you are ready. And that's the same thing that I try to tell Demetrius about business, period. That if you have something and you're trying to get it out to people, so again, we were just doing an example on dirt, but he just talked about nursing and being able to talk about on the nursing platform. But I know we don't have everything ready, so I can't. I don't want to get you excited and I don't have anywhere for you to go. I don't have
But
like
you got tell me you
no
got a plan. You
no
got a
text,
plan to join a
no
bunch.
text, yeah, no text messaging, no website. I can't tell you anything. So I'm just gonna say stay connected with us. But for those of you, like I told Demetrius, I never ever want people to join this podcast and being able to tell y'all something and close it out and not having a solution to the problem. He talked about you being stuck, but what kind of ways is he gonna help you to get unstuck? If you have an idea and you feeling that, you go like he said. He have his glasses. He have the podcast. But what if you do have his sunglasses and a podcast? But that's it. That's all you have. You're not doing any generating. You haven't even thought of a business plan on how much you want to make or what's the goal to get there. I don't want you to close this podcast out, Demetrius, and not give them some tangible to do at the end. So you need to give them something on if they're stuck, whether it's education, whether they stuck in a relationship, maybe they stuck in finances. So Demetrius, what kind of advice do you have for somebody that don't they stuck in their finances and they really don't have enough to make ends meet right now?
Read, get knowledge. Surround yourself around people that whatever you want to do, what you're trying to be in life, get around them kind of people, and they'll take you there. I mean, you can't get around. You can't want to be. I'm gonna use a publisher. You can't want to be a public store manager. You want to run a grocery store, be a manager. Not you want to run the store, but you want to hang with people that slaying dice. People that work at a manufacturer. You need to hang with people that who's in the grocery menu. People that work in the grocery store. People that product food, sell food. Get around people like that. And they get your mindset to go forward what you're trying to do in life. That's what Angela asking me. I mean, I don't know. I can take
what would be your answer about the money though? They don't have the means.
Oh, don't have the money?
Yeah, the finances. They owing everybody. They don't have enough money right now to even do the things they need to get done. What's your advice?
When it comes down to money now, it's always a way around the money part. You know I tell her all the time. I can get around stuff. You ain't got the money, don't get frustrated. Now you're gonna get frustrated. But don't give up. You got a business plan. You still together. Somebody will get the money to you. But you can't quit. You can't give up. You got to believe in whatever you believe in. And like Angela's saying, she's saying, tell y'all, what are you talking about? I don't have the money. The rich people got a better plan I got. But my best plan was work for me all my life. I didn't quit. I found a way. I sit down by myself. I think to myself. But I say think. I'm in a room by myself. Nobody bothers me. And I find a way. You can find the money. Don't never think you can't find a way. It's out there. So I know the answer you might be looking for you on this podcast. But I got to give you on a level I'm on what I'm trying to do. And it worked for me. Calm down, sit by myself, think, and I find the money I need to do what I got to do. That's what I'm telling you. I tell them about it.
Listen, you all. I mean, he does constantly say Angie's always away. But what the advice that I'm gonna give you, is closing. I'm gonna try to take it full circle. If it was a relationship problem that I was trying to get out of, or that you're not happy with, you need to make sure getting out of it is what you really want to do. Or ask yourself what's the reason why you want to go or want to stay. And making sure it's not tied to, just a motive. I don't have no money, I don't have nowhere to go, and vice versa. Because they have shelters out there. You might not want to go there, but they have shelters. And I remember an older gentleman telling me many years ago, he said, Angie, you always make sure you pay for shelter, because God bless a child that got his own. So if you somewhere who's staying with somebody else and you don't like the living arrangements, try to find ways to get your own, or being able to subsidize until you can get there. If money was my problem, be willing to Find you a way to make money. DoorDash. I mean, Demetrius, some of these people don't have no excuses. They just wanna they want the excuse, but Demetrius, they don't want the solution to the excuse.
Yeah.
They have DoorDash that I have physically wrote with my son and daughter, have not Demetrius.
Yeah.
For the DoorDash. Demetrius said he wouldn't do it.
No.
His
man,
daughter has his daughter and granddaughter do it. Does DoorDash, and Demetrius like, no, and I wouldn't.
I'm a little scary.
So you have DoorDash out there. You have ways to use your same phone, because a lot of us, we can be scrapping for money, but Demetrius, some kind of way our cell phone bills gonna get paid. Some kind of way those things gonna be paid. So I'm just saying, use that same phone and go and look up mobile, things that can give you money, where you can download an app and being able to do on demand. Whether you doing on demand pickup, whether you doing on demand DoorDash or doing Uber Eats. Some people don't want to go to people's houses. You don't want people in your car, but you can go and give them something to eat. You can go leave it on a step or on a thing. You can do that. Find a way to see how you can get some extra money working. I know those of you going to school, Demetrius was talking about on the thing saying for school. If school is one of your things, and I'm saying it because I'm fighting that journey myself, I told myself, Angie, is it important to you? You got to find a way. You can't lay in the bed. You can't get off and go to sleep.
What I say is always a way.
You can't go to sleep. You got to find a way that you have to be able to be committed and give 6 months to a year of your life up if that's what you want. And I know I just have to do it. And I told Demetrius, I have to start hanging back around people who go to school. Because I told him, Demetrius, it's going to get done. He was like, well, Angie, if you serious about it, I said, I'm just letting you know, it has to be done. I have no other way about it. It has to be done. So I'm just only saying to you, if those things that you're looking at, and like Demetrius said about plugging into the people and that's doing what you're doing, he's right. Mindset and environment is huge. And closing back, when we're talking about business, and we done talked about relationships, we talked about money, we talked about education. Now we're going back to business. If it's some business that you want, and being able to do your research, like I was telling you about the dirt, and being able to put yourself in alignment. Make sure you know what revenue you want. A lot of us out here, when we start in businesses, but we have not did the hard part of thinking, how much money do you want to make? And see, when you doing it, what Coach Candace taught us is about doing reverse engineering. That if you know that you want to make, I'm just going to say, $1 million. And we already know that for you to make your $1 million, you got to make that 8,333, 8,333. If that's your magic number that you need to be making a month and breaking it down by the day, then hey, I got to do this every day. And then being able to chop it up until you can meet your financial goals. But if you don't have no goals and you don't have any blueprint, then I can tell you very much, you're going to stay stuck.
Yeah.
Like I told Demetrius and I, with this project that we're working on now, I said, Demetrius, we got to start having business meetings. I said, in the business meetings, you got to stop watching ESPN. You need to change. You're going to have to change your mindset. Look, he don't want me to be calling him out, but I do. I told him, he was asking me, he was sending me videos about personal development. I said, Demetrius, how many books have you read lately? He said, I haven't read one in a month. I said, guess how many books I done read in a month? 3, because I do Audible. I told him my brain stays because I don't watch TV. I listen to personal developments. I'm reading a book now talking about growth and habits. And I'm letting you know, if you don't have it, you won't have no growth because of your habits. Your habits is the reason that's keeping us stagnant. That goes for me. That's why these dreams are not done. And I told Demetrius, I got to launch both of these projects at the same doggone time. He was like, no, Angie, we'll do one. I say, no. I say, I can't. I done sat around too long. I have to go. I cannot use nothing else. I have to go. My father has died. I have to go. Our son is getting grown. Our grandchild is the oldest one. Told us she in 5th grade. Demetrius, what grade Jada say she in?
5th grade.
In the 5th grade. She like in jewelry now. We got to go. We don't have no more time. Both of these have to be launched and they have to go. I'm putting in places right now what you get. And ladies, you cannot do everything by yourself. Seeing who your team is going to be. And sometimes you're going to have to work a little bit in order to pay extra people. And Demetrius and I know because we had to do it. Pay somebody who's smarter than us. And that's what the TD Jakes said, Demetrius, and then we'll close it up. What TD Jakes said, what did TD Jakes told us? We flew all the way to Canada. And what did he say on it? What he said, the main thing that stopped people.
How you say it? I'm trying to think. Go ahead. You got to say it because I can't.
The main thing he said stop people is money.
Oh yeah, he just said right, money.
And then he said that he was writing that book.
Excuse.
He said Women Without Owl. He said he wrote it with a typewriter. Then he said Demetrius, and then nobody wanted it first.
Yeah.
Until they turn it into a movie. So I'm just gonna let you know that if Bishop T.D. Jakes faced the same struggle and he faced a rejection, you can't stop just because of rejection. You can't stop, and I'm saying this because that's been my problem. You can't stop when it get hard. You can't stop when things are not going your way. You can't stop when money dry out. You can't stop just because it seems like the doors are closed. You can't stop that if you're passionate about it, and I know like I'm passionate about it. You have to be able to have a good accountability partner, and that's one thing that I can say. Demetrius, he's a very good accountability partner. So anybody, if y'all want to rent him and you need your projects finished and you want to rent him, I got a rent sign. I rent him out for an hour. You can rent him, and he will be your motivational in your.
You can take me because I'm gonna push him.
Yeah, they'll take you. Some of them need them. They need it. I am renting him for him to be your accountability partner. He'll check in with you for an hour. You call me, text me for the rate, and he will be your accountability partner for any project you trying to complete. I promise you will get it done. You will be able to put a green check behind it because Demetrius will make sure that you stay on task for what it is that you say you want. You might hate him then, but you will appreciate him later. And I'm speaking to you from his wife. Because sometimes when he be on me, Angie, get up, you say you going to the gym. I'm like, give me 5-10 more minutes. That 5-10 more minutes, Angie, get up. You already got your 5-10 more minutes. Get up. And some of us, we need that accountability to push us because sometimes we do need our hand held and babysit. So, Demetrius, you have anything else?
No, ma'am. You said it all. Thank y'all. Right. I love y'all. We'll see you next week.
All right. I hope something that we said, hope you take your business, take your whatever you stuck on, take it to the next level. Please email us and give us updates. We would absolutely love to hear it. And you can text us at 833-370-1608. Put relationship in the comment or just go ahead and put the topic of what you're talking about in the comment, and it'll still reach us. This is the Lee Life Experience Podcast. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Hi, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the episode so far. You are here with the Lee Life Experiences. And remember, if you want to get your topics discussed or get our opinion or our perspective, join us text us at 833-370-1608 and put relationships in the comment.